Nigel Cecil, equity as you like it.
Especially for my equitable friends.
Hello, I'm Dave Eager, Nigel Cecil's equity editor, and I'm introducing part 1 of a 2-part video, Nigel Cecil 88. In response to Nigel's equitable friends, Nigel is focusing on the current equity rule change referendum, where the Equity Council say they are making limited changes in the new rulebook. So here is Nigel in an info entertainment style explaining how unlimited, limited rule changes appear to be taking place. Over to you, Nigel.
Hello, chackabouters. Nigel Cecil here, moi, as an entertainment entrepreneur, responding to my equitable friends, and thank you, my friend and associate, Dave Eager, equity editor, for introducing this video, video 88, which comes in 2 parts, doesn't it, Hilary? Yes, move on. I've got to keep it short and sweet to get the message across. The Equity Council, under their auspices, are proposing new rulebook proposals to bring in a new rulebook and get rid of this one. And they are doing it under the sort of promotion that it's to make the new rulebook easier to understand for the membership, along with some limited changes. Limited, yes, my equitable friends are calling them unlimited, limited changes, and we're about to show you why and hopefully get the message across to those 90% of the members who will be totally unaware of what's going on and not realising that if these new rulebook proposals go through, the ethos of equity and its democratic focus, being fair and equal on behalf of all of the members, will be dramatically changed. So let's get on with this quick focus on 6 of the reasons, and part 2 will give you another 6 reasons as to why you should vote disapprove. Here come the captions. Objects, powers and duties from the old current rule book have been replaced by aims, and the word professional is now removed. So realistically, you all become workers. The new proposed rules also admit current assurances about members' political, religious beliefs and freedom of artistic expression. They appear not to be included. They also, the new rulebook proposals, don't restrict protection of members to solely their professional work. So does that mean that equity are going to see an opportunity to get involved with members' considerations outside their professional work? Ponder on that question. Then we come to complaints and disciplinary action. Well, there's so many changes there, shifting power up to the elites that, well, have a read of this caption and see if you can work it out. But the independence of that procedure on behalf of all the members to be equally and fairly treated seems to be seriously undermined when one considers the tenets of natural justice. Standing for the council. Well, here the numbers required to nominate a member for the council have been increased. Also the numbers for those working in the same area of the council. So much for encouraging more members to be able to stand, especially if you work in an area where you don't usually meet other members. It's going to be more difficult to get nominations. The national committees. Well, there'll be no longer any guarantee that there will be national committees in Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales, or by any definition of what their rules and powers are all about. This will solely now be in the gift of the council. More power shifted upwards to the elites. Relationships between councils and committees, well, the specialist committees will no longer have any duty to liaise with the committee and or the annual general meetings in the areas they represent. So again, more elites taking their power upwards. In the new rulebook proposals regarding the General Secretary, in summary, The General Secretary will no longer be obliged to consult with or advise the Council, and it will no longer be clearly defined that the General Secretary can only at all times in accordance act with the directions given and with the policies approved by the Council. However, please remember this is just a summary because we're just trying to get the message across to those members who really don't want to know about reading all the details. So some of our nuances may not be 100%, but we are trying our best, aren't we, Hilary? Yeah, yes, indeed. So on we go to branch funds. Branch funds. Some equitable friends have gained the impression that the new rulebook proposals mean that branches will no longer have control over their own funds and that these will instead be controlled by the General Secretary and the Council. What's in a name? The annual representative conference clearly says what it means and what the members may expect. The Equity Conference actually doesn't say anything about annual or representative. And it does look once again that the power is being shifted up to the elites and the members, well, you're somewhere down there, aren't you? Which is why my equitable friends have come to this 15-second slogan as to why you should vote disapprove.
Equity's new rulebook proposals. Shifting elites' power up, casting members' power down. Vote disapprove.